old apartment block was nearly silent at night. The stairwell lights had burned out long ago. The air smelled of dust and rusted metal. He hated using the elevator, but the 9th floor was too far to climb. He pressed the button. The doors groaned as they opened. The cab inside was empty. Its light flickered weakly, buzzing with every pulse. He stepped in. The smell of oil was stronger here, heavy and stale. He pressed his floor. The doors slid together with a heavy sigh. The elevator began to rise, shuddering with every meter. At the 3rd floor, it stopped. No one had called it. Still, the doors slid open. The hallway outside was black, not just dark black. He waited, listened. Nothing moved. Only the faint hum of wires somewhere far below. He pressed close. The doors resisted, slow, almost unwilling. Then they shut, sealing him in again. The cab continued to climb. The light dimmed. He glanced at the mirror on the back wall. For a moment, he thought he saw someone, a faint outline standing behind him. He spun around, empty. The cab was silent still except for the trembling bulb he turned back. The mirror flickered again. Now the shadow was clear. A woman's figure, hair spilling forward, hiding her face, standing right at his shoulder. The elevator jolted. Then it dropped. Not slowly, not in control. It plunged. Metal screamed around him. His body slammed the wall. The numbers above blurred in reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5. He braced for the bottom. The cab shuddered. Then, silence. The ground floor. The doors opened. He staggered out, but froze. The mirror inside still showed her. Closer now. Her face just over his shoulder. Her eyes, 2 black hollows. Breathing so near he could almost feel it. He leapt away from the cab. The doors snapped shut. The elevator began to rise on its own, higher, higher. The numbers glowing above as it carried her upward. Her laughter seeped down the shaft. Low, cracking, endless. He never used the elevator again, but late at night, when he passed the doors in the lobby, he heard it moving, rising, falling, doors opening, closing, and the laughter, always waiting. Late at night. every day, morning and night, you trust it. But what if it does not reflect you? She was tired that night. Work had drained her. Her eyes were heavy. She stepped into the bathroom, turned on the light, and looked into the mirror. Her reflection looked the same. Messy hair, dark circles beneath her eyes. But something felt different. She brushed her teeth, and for a moment, her reflection lagged a half-second delay. Tiny, almost nothing, she blinked fast. Maybe just exhaustion. But then she spit into the sink, and in the mirror, her mouth remained open, still spitting. Even after she had finished, she froze. Her reflection caught up and smiled faintly, though she had not smiled. Her heart beat faster. She leaned closer. Her reflection leaned too. But its eyes were not aligned. One stared directly at her. The other seemed to drift. She turned her head to the side, testing. The reflection did not follow. It looked at her directly even as she turned away. Her breath shook. Her throat went dry. The mirror should copy her. It should always copy her. But this thing was watching. Her skin crawled. She switched off the bathroom light. Darkness swallowed the room. But the mirror still glowed faintly. And in it, she saw her face, pale, wide-eyed, pressed against the glass as if trying to get out. She stumbled back. The reflection did not. It stayed close to the mirror. Its lips spread in a grin, teeth too sharp, too long, not her teeth. She whispered, "Stop." Her reflection mouthed something else. Different words, silent, but unmistakable. "Let me in." Her chest pounded. She ran to the door, pulled it open, stepped into the hallway. Cold air rushed over her skin. The bathroom light was still off, yet the mirror behind her still glowed, brightening. She turned slowly. Her reflection remained inside. But it no longer moved with her. It stood still, frozen, and smiling.
She whispered to herself, "It's not real. It's just exhaustion. It can't be real."
But then, her reflection moved on its own. A single step forward inside the glass. Closer. Closer. Its palms pressed against the surface, hair sliding across its face. And then, the mirror cracked.
A sharp sound tore through the hallway, glass snapping, splitting. She screamed.
But no one heard. She backed away. Her reflection stayed close, still smiling. And then, a pale hand pushed through the crack.
glass slicing around its wrist. Another hand followed the mirror, screamed with her until her copy pulled itself halfway out. She ran, but the sound of glass breaking filled the corridor. And when she looked back, the reflection was gone from the mirror. It was standing in the hallway right behind her, smiling with her face but not her eyes. And in that moment, she understood. The mirror had never been glass. It was a door. And now, it was open.
Phone. Always close. Always glowing. Always listening. But what if the voice on the other end was yours? It was 2:13 in the morning. The apartment was silent. He woke suddenly without knowing why. Then he saw it. The phone on his nightstand lit up. A single message from an unknown number. No, not unknown. From his own number.
The message read, "Don't leave your room."
He sat up, blinking, heart pounding. It had to be a joke, a glitch, something. He typed back.
"Who is this?"
Almost instantly, the reply came.
"It's you, listen."
He stared at the glowing screen, his reflection faint in the glass. Sweat prickled across his skin. Another message appeared.
"He's outside the door."
The phone buzzed in his hand, a vibration sharp against his palm, and then a sound. Knocking, 3 slow knocks from the hallway.
He froze. Every muscle locked.
He typed with shaking fingers.
"Who is outside?"
The reply came instantly.
"You already know."
The phone began to ring, his own number on the screen, calling him.
He answered.
The speaker crackled with static, and then a voice. His voice.
Whispering, "Don't open the door."
He whispered back, "What is happening?" The voice on the phone laughed softly and said,
"You're too late."
The knocking grew louder, closer. A scrape like nails against the wood. His throat tightened. He pressed the phone harder to his ear. Static filled it. But beneath the static, he heard breathing. Not his, not the voice. Breathing just outside the door.
The phone buzzed again.
Another message from himself.
"Don't make a sound."
He covered his mouth, tears burned his eyes, the phone trembled in his grip. Another message. "Look under the door." He didn't want to, but his eyes drifted down, and there, a shadow
feet, bare, waiting. He typed quickly.
What do I do?
The phone buzzed. The reply was instant.
You can't stop it.
The knocking stopped. Silence pressed against the room. He dared to breathe, dared to hope. And then the door handle turned slowly, deliberately. He screamed into the phone.
Who are you?
And the voice answered, still his voice, but wrong, distant, empty.
I'm you on the other side.
The door creaked open, cold air spilled in, and the phone slipped from his hand. The screen cracked on the floor, the call still active, his own voice still whispering. You should have listened. And then, from the hallway, footsteps entered the room. He never touched his phone again. Because sometimes, when it rings at night,
It's not someone calling you. It's someone calling for you.
He was just a courier. Another late shift. Another delivery. A pizza box cooling in his hands. The address looked normal enough, 9th floor. Apartment 47. The hallway smelled of dust and stale paint. No voices. No music, just the hum of the old elevator. He rang the bell. Waited silence. He rang again. Then the door opened, slowly without a hand. The chain dangled useless, hinges groaned. But no one stood there, just a dark corridor stretching inside. Hello? He called, his own voice came back, softer, broken. He stepped 1 foot forward, pizza box tight in his grip. The apartment was cold, too cold for summer. From somewhere deep inside, faint footsteps, light shuffling, then silence again. He froze, listening. His customer must be there. He thought, maybe old, maybe sick. He cleared his throat. Your pizza. The footsteps started again. Closer this time, uneven as if dragging. He saw nothing but a shadow sliding across the far wall. His phone buzzed with the timer of another order. He ignored it. He stepped further inside. The door swung shut behind him with a soft click. He turned fast, but the knob wouldn't move. Locked from the outside. The air smelled strange. Not rot, not mold, just empty, like a place long forgotten. He placed the box on a dusty table. The lid lifted, slowly by itself. Steam curled out, though the pizza was stone cold. His phone vibrated again. A new text.
leave it and go. No number, no signal, just those words. He turned the screen off, hands shaking. The footsteps returned louder. Now they circled him. He spun, trying to catch whoever it was. Nothing but empty corners, and then breathing behind him. Low, slow, too close. He turned, the corridor was empty, but in the reflection of a cracked mirror on the wall, he saw a figure, thin, pale, smiling, standing inches from his back. The pizza box slid to the floor. He ran to the door, slamming his fist against the wood, begging to get out. But the reflection stayed behind him, moving closer, while the real hallway showed nothing. Only darkness. Only silence. The door opened again. By itself. And the box outside was empty.
At night, the city looks empty. Streets glow, but the windows are blind. All except one. He lived on the 9th floor every night. When he switched off the light, a single window lit up in the building across the street. Always the same one. Always at the same time. Behind that window sat an old woman, still silent, and her eyes fixed on him. He tried to explain it away. Coincidence. Some strange rhythm of city life. But the nights repeated. The gaze never shifted. Weeks passed. Every evening the same ritual. His lamp went dark. Her window flared alive. The figure sat there, pale, unmoving, watching. Not once did she blink. Not once did she turn away. Curiosity burned deeper than fear. He stepped closer to the glass. His reflection shimmered faintly against the night. He raised his hand slowly, a greeting, a test. The woman moved, but not like him. Not delayed, not copying. She waved her hand a heartbeat before he did, as if she knew, as if she remembered the gesture from the future. He froze his breath, missed it against the pane. On the other side of the street, 9 floors up, she smiled, wide cold. He shut the curtains, sat in the dark, trying not to breathe too loud. Hours dragged, but when he peeked again, the window was still lit. She was still there, closer to the glass now. Her mouth opened. No sound reached him, but her lips shaped his name perfectly. The next morning he asked the neighbors, who lives across the street. Who is she? They laugh nervously, that building. Empty for 20 years, boarded, abandoned. That night, when the lights went out, the window glowed again. And she was waiting. This time, her hand was already pressed against the glass. His glass from the inside.
At night the house becomes different. Walls breathe, stairs creak, and even silence sounds like someone else's breath. Every night the little girl went down the stairs to drink water. Her small bare feet touched the cold wood, and on the wall hung a mirror old, in a dark frame. It had come from her grandmother, long before she died. Everyone was used to it, but lately, something in the reflection was wrong. It showed her, but not exactly, the head tilted, slightly, lips pressed together, as if hiding a smile. Eyes blinking, but not when she blinked. The reflection lived its own life. One night she stopped on the stairs. She stared directly into the mirror. The reflection stared back, too intently. It did not blink, did not look away. Her small fingers clutched the railing, but the reflection's hands did not touch the wood. Its hands hung free. Useless, strange. She turned away, but something made her glance back again. And then she realized it had stayed standing, watching even as she moved. She took one step upward. Her heart pounded so loud it seemed it would wake everyone in the house, and then the reflection moved downward, a step toward her, quiet, slow descending into the dark. The girl froze, her body no longer obeyed. She stared into eyes that were not her eyes, and they were coming closer. The hand in the mirror dropped lower, as if searching for a door that could join two worlds. The mirror trembled like thin water, and fingers from the other side slid across the glass. A faint sound, like a nail against a window pane. She recoiled, but the stairs behind her disappeared into blackness. All that remained was the shimmering glass, pulling her in, terrifying her. From it stared not herself, something else, something that had long been waiting. The reflection stepped closer. A smile stretched its lips. Eyes blinked slowly, as if turning off the light. Then it raised its hand, touched the glass, and the glass cracked from within, like thin ice beneath a heavy step. And the house went dark. The mirror was empty. On the stairs there was no one anymore. Only a cup of water shattered on the floor, and the faint echo of footsteps still climbing upward, though the girl was no longer there.
They found him by the roadside. A stray dog, thin, trembling eyes too bright in the dark. The family took him and fed him, named him Max. For years he was loyal, loving, safe. Until the nights changed. At first it was small things. Max sat by the window at night, staring into the trees, growling softly. The sound was wrong, too deep, like a voice trying to learn how to growl. The father laughed it off, the mother frowned, the children pulled the dog closer, holding him tight. Then came the footsteps. At night they heard Max pacing the hallway. His claws clicked against the floor, but sometimes the steps sounded too heavy, almost like bare feet. One night the mother checked, the dog was asleep at the foot of the bed, still silent, yet the steps kept moving in the hallway. The children whispered first. Max talks when you're not here. The parents scolded them, said it was imagination. But the little girl swore she had heard it. A voice from the dark kitchen. A broken human whisper calling her name. The sound of Max's breath wrapped inside it. Then came the smell, not dog, not fur, a copper tang like blood drying on iron. It followed Max everywhere. The father grew uneasy. He noticed the dog's eyes, too human, and sometimes they reflected light when no light was there. One night, the boy woke screaming. Max was sitting on his chest, mouth open. But the sound that came out was a laugh, low, crooked human. The family tried to put him outside, locked the doors, closed the windows, but in the night, Max was back inside, sitting in the hallway watching, breathing too loudly.
The father finally whispered the word, Skinwalker. Something that wore fur-like clothing, something that waited for years until the family trusted it. The mother wanted to run, the children cried, but the dog only sat at the door, smiling in the dark. The last night was a storm, rain against the glass, thunder shaking the walls.
They heard Max in the kitchen,
Chewing, loud, wet. The father crept down the stairs,
his hand on the light switch, and when the light flared, Max was standing on two legs.
Its mouth was split too wide, its eyes burned with stolen faces, in its claws hung the family's photographs, each picture torn, bitten, wet with spit.
The father froze. The creature tilted its head, and in Max's broken voice it whispered, "You kept me long enough." That night,
The neighbors heard nothing. The storm swallowed every scream. In the morning, the house was quiet. Too quiet. The dog was gone. But by the roadside, where they had once found him, a family of 4 now waited, thin, trembling, eyes too bright in the dark.
Every street has one. The house everyone avoids. The neighbor everyone whispers about. On this street she looked harmless, an old woman, soft eyes, a slow walk. Feeding birds, tending flowers, a grandmother to anyone who passed. But those who knew never crossed her. The family moved in next door, they laughed at the stories. Witches were for children's tales, not suburbs. She was just a lonely old woman. Until the night of the argument. It was small at first. A broken flower pot on the fence. Raised voices. A careless insult flung at her wrinkled face. The old woman said nothing. She only looked at them. Her stare lasted too long, too cold. That night the milk spoiled in the fridge, rotten in minutes, mirrors fogged over even without steam. And the children swore they heard someone whisper their names as they tried to sleep. The parents blamed stress, the move, the neighbors. But deep inside, unease grew like mold on the walls. The old woman was always there, standing in her yard, feeding birds, watching. Every time the family looked outside, her head would turn, slowly, smiling faintly. But her lips never moved. Only her eyes, sharp, heavy. The father asked around. Old neighbors, long-time residents. They lowered their voices, shifted their eyes. She's done this before, one whispered. Families leave, houses rot, no one stays long. Another muttered, she curses those who insult her, always has. The father laughed, nervously, but the laughter felt hollow. One night the daughter woke screaming. Her hair was tangled with dead leaves. Her hands smelled of soil as if she'd been digging in the garden. But her window had been locked, her bed untouched. The next morning the mother found small footprints in the hallway, dirt, bare feet. Too small to be hers, too many to be her daughter's. The family tried to apologize. Flowers left at her gate, a note on her porch, but the gifts were gone by morning, vanished. That night the house turned colder than outside. The air reeked of ashes, and every picture frame on the wall cracked, all at once. The father swore he heard her voice inside the house, calling his name,
from every room at once. The children cried, the mother clutched them tight, and through the window she was standing in her garden, still smiling, watching. The family packed to leave, bags at the door, keys in hand. But when they looked out the windows, they did not see the street, or the garden, or the car. Every window showed her the old woman, her face pressed against the glass in every room. At the same time, she opened her mouth, wide, too wide. The glass quivered, and from every corner of the house, the family heard the same whisper, layered and endless. You should never have spoken. By morning, the house was silent. The curtains still, the doors locked. The neighbors shook their heads. Another family gone, another curse fulfilled. And in the garden, the old woman fed her birds, smiling, waiting.